But you may be thinking, well, if we haven't crossed paths before, you may be thinking, who is Charlie Redding? Why would I listen to him? So before I go any further, I just want to take you on a little journey and tell you a little bit about where I've come from. So I want to take you to do that. I want to take you to Perth, Western Australia, and this is 1999. And I'm sitting there overlooking the sea as the sun sets. I've got a glass of Aussie Cab Sav in my hand. And I'm seeing this amazing house. I've got this incredible view over the sunset and over the sea, but I'm surrounded by artifacts from all around Australia and all around the world. And out of the house comes my Uncle Bill. Now, my Uncle Bill is this kind of David Hasselhoff lookalike. He says, hey, Charlie, how was your first day in Australia? Well, Bill, it's been amazing. I can't believe it. Firstly, it's great to meet you for the first time. But, it's been incredible. It's those houses and those castles that you showed me that you'd built and sold were just absolutely incredible. It's clearly a beautiful city. It's 1,000,000 miles different from Africa, where I've been when I've flown in from and been traveling previously. It's another 1,000,000 miles away from being back on the farm at home. It's absolutely incredible. It's a brilliant place. But what's got me really confused is, you've got this amazing house with all of these artifacts from around Australia and around the world. Where do you get all of these from? Well, Charlie, I spend 3 months of every year traveling around the world, and I'm traveling around Australia. 3 months of every year. I thought the idea is once you finished university and got a job, you were restricted to 25 days holiday. Oh, well, Charlie, you work for somebody else's company, they set the rules. You work for your own company, you set the rules. And those words said by Uncle Bill are like a seed growing within me as I traveled around the world. And if I fast forward a year, I can only describe myself as being back in London, and a bit of a scene like the film The Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know if you've seen the film The Wolf of Wall Street, but I was in this commission-hungry financial services sales world. I was surrounded by guys in pinstripe suits, white shirts, and ties. And it was this sell, sell, sell environment. And I'd taken this opportunity, having come back from traveling, because of those words of Uncle Bill, because I wanted to help people. But I knew, more importantly than anything, I wanted to be self-employed. I wanted to be the master of my own destiny. And this opportunity to help people save for their future, protect their families from a financial point of view, and do better with their money had presented me with that opportunity. And that's really kind of how I found myself falling into the world of financial services and financial advice. And what I realized very quickly was that I loved helping people save for their future and make the most of their money. But what I didn't like was the commission-hungry world I'd fallen into. And as I kind of journeyed through that, and I remember getting a call from my mum, and she's like, hi, Charles, how are you getting on in the business at the moment? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of, I'm just fine. I'm losing my way a little bit. I kind of think I need to step out of this kind of wider company and kind of row my own boat in the world of financial service. I'm really not quite loving it enough. But I can see that this is the sector for me. What do you mean what news have you got? Uncle Bill? Yeah. He's taken his own life. Oh my gosh. The guy, I thought he had everything. He had the most incredible business, the most incredible house, his wonderful family, the perfect work-life balance. Wow. Have you ever had a time where you knew you needed to change, but you didn't know what that change was going to look like? Well, that's what happened to me when I found out that Uncle Bill had taken his own life. The guy that I put on this pedestal, the guy that had everything, clearly didn't have everything. So I want to fast forward. I want to fast forward to 2011. I'm in the XL Arena, Docklands, London. I'm surrounded by 6,000 people. But these people are screaming, yelling, crying. Because I'm at an event called Unleash the Power Within, made most famous by it's firewalk. So over the course of that 4 days, I walked across burning hot coals. But actually, it wasn't the firewalk that really changed my life over the course of those 4 days. It was a thing called the Dickens process. So this Unleash the Power Within is an event by Tony Robbins. Now, you may or may not have heard of Tony Robbins, but he's this big 6'7" American guy. He's got teeth bigger than I am. And during this Dickens process, the lights are dark, and you just hear his booming voice. I want you to imagine what your life will look like 20 years from now. What decisions have you been making over the last 5 years that have been shaping that life 20 years from now? Because it's in our moments of decision, our destiny is shaped. So once I'd got over the kind of feeling that I joined the occult, I started to think about what Tony was saying. Because 5 years before that, I'd set up my own financial planning business, Efficient Portfolio, to create the best financial planning possible. And it'd been going quite well. You know, we'd been taking on gradually better and better clients. But I also thought about where I was today. And I was 3 stone heavier than I am today. I was working every hour God sends. I got 2 young children, 2 young daughters at that point. And I created this image. Tony asked me to think about what my life would look like 20 years from now if I carried on this trajectory. And all I could see was me sat in this 1-bedroom flat surrounded by pizza boxes weighing 20 stone, my gut hanging over the side of the chair. Carol and the girls had long since left me. The business had folded. And I realized that this wasn't the future I wanted to create. And Tony said something really interesting over the course of those 4 days. He said, if we make the same decisions yesterday as you made today, you'll get the same results tomorrow as you got today. What decisions are you making today, but expecting a different result from? And what decisions could you make that could maybe transform your life 20 years from now? So I left Unleash the Power Within with this new enthusiasm, this determination to do things better, do things differently. And to start with, my focus was all about the work-life balance. Thought back to what Uncle Bill had got really right. And I decided that I needed to take 3 months of every year off. I didn't do it immediately, but over the course of the next few years, I phased in, gradually taking more and more time away with the family. And as a result of that, kind of nearly 10 years, well, over 10 years on, we have created some incredible memories as a family, traveling the world, going to see amazing things, gigs, experiences. We've had the best time because I focused on making sure that taking 3 months of every year off was a priority. At the same time, I decided I needed to take my health seriously. Now, if you don't make time for your health and well-being, you're going to have to make time for illness later on. So I decided to do the former and really make sure that I did put my health and fitness first. And I went from being 3 stone overweight to completing multiple Ironmans, ultramarathons, marathons, all sorts of different things. So I'm in the best physical shape now that I've ever been in. But then from a business point of view, I thought, well, okay, I need to help. What I need to do is focus on how we can help more and more people at a much deeper level than we were ever helping them before in that sort of commission-hungry financial services world. So in 2015, I had my first book, The Dream Retirement, How to Secure Your Money and Retire Happy, published. And that book led on to a bit of a roller coaster of success for Efficient Portfolio. I started being featured on the radio, on the cover of industry magazines, in national newspapers, on TV. And Efficient Portfolio came to be known as one of the top financial planning businesses in the UK, and in fact awarded the top financial planning practice in the Midlands. Over that journey, I authored 4 books, all of which help clients at different stages in their life achieve a better level of financial security, but also take life to another level. And I'm also now the host of the Triathlon podcast, where we interview top professionals from the world of endurance sport, top coaches, inspiring stories, all around understanding how we can make our lives, our training, and our business better through lessons from endurance sport. So really, just to kind of finish this off, I want to just reflect back on, what I learned from Uncle Bill was amazing in the sense that he'd clearly mastered the art of or the science of achievement. Actually, what he'd done was he'd achieved incredible things. What he hadn't managed to do, I believe, is understand the art of fulfillment. So he was very good at achieving stuff, but less good on being happy with what he achieved. And this is where I think we need to kind of bring it back full circle to why entrepreneurial happiness is so important. Because it is about getting the work-life balance. It is about making sure that we spend time with the people we care most about. Usually, that's our family. It's about looking after ourselves physically and mentally. But it's also about having the motivation and the success in business, because one of our 6 human needs is growth. And we need to continue to grow to be happy. So we need to see that business growth and that personal growth to be truly happy. And that is where I believe we want to be that's where entrepreneurial happiness is. It's that sweet spot between having amazing business that you love and that gives you purpose and that gives you drive and allows you to see that you're growing, but also that you've got that balance of spending the time with the people you care most about and doing the things that you care most about. And on my journey, I kind of worked out, having been on multiple coaching programs, courses, read multiple books, watched video, all sorts. I worked out really that there is 3 steps to entrepreneurial happiness. The first is we really got to master the money side of our business. If we don't generate good money in our business, then we're not going to be able to employ the people we want to employ. We're not going to be able to employ the marketing strategies we want to employ. We're not going to be able to live the life that we deserve. Because ultimately, if you're creating value for other people through your business, which absolutely is what you should be doing, then you deserve to live a fulfilled and enriched life. So if you're not making great money, but are helping people, then you're not getting the life that you deserve. So we've really got to start with on making sure that the money is coming into the business. And not only is it coming into the business, but you know what's happening with it and you're making the most of the money that comes into the business. Second thing we need to think about is our time, because this is the whole work-life balance piece. If you're not taking control of your time, which, as I've already said, is our most valuable resource, then you're not spending the time with the people that you care most about. You're not spending time doing the activities that you love most, and you're not spending the time with looking after your own physical and mental well-being. And then finally, there's the fun side of business. You've got to love what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, you've got to change the way that you approach business, because business should be about being excited to go and do what is called work. We spend so much time there, we've got to make it exciting. What tends to happen is people spend more and more of their time doing more of that admin type stuff, and that actually leads to a less innovative business, because the business owner is drained and has no drive and loses their passion and purpose for what it is that they got into business for in the first place. So if there's no fun for the business owner, then it will be a far less impactful business. It will help far fewer people in whatever it is that you want to do. So over the course of the years, I've read literally hundreds of business books, attended courses, workshops, all sorts. And what I tried to do was refine down what I thought were the 4 most important principles into making sure that your business continues to grow. And within those 4 principles, I built the profitable business plan. So the profitable business plan is all the best ideas that allowed us to make sure that we were generating. So an efficient portfolio, which, by the way, I've subsequently sold. I didn't tell you that in my story. But within that efficient portfolio, we delivered 50% new growth, 7 consecutive years. So this is the 4 steps that allowed us to deliver 50% growth, 7 consecutive years. And then that's what the profitable business plan is all about, because it's about making sure that we've got new clients coming in, we're building strong partnerships with other businesses. It's about knowing all the numbers so that you know exactly what's going on and you can feel the pulse of what's going on in the business and you can see into the future. And then it's about extracting that money really successfully as a business owner. Then I thought about, well, okay, what are the 5 principles that really allowed me to take 3 months of every year off, allowed me to continue to have a thriving business, a business that grows and develops, but while I'm taking less and less time to do that. And that's what I created from the Free Life business model. 5 steps towards regaining your work-life balance and taking back your business and having a successful business, but taking back control of the time that you spend in that business. And then finally, I created the Epic Business Blueprint, which was the 4 most important steps to loving what you do when you're at work. So we obviously want to spend less time at work, so we've got more time for other things. But when we're there, we want it to be more fun than fun. So the Epic Business Blueprint is how we can make sure that not only does our business become the fun that we want it to be, but that will change over time. It ensures that it evolves and continues to evolve. So it's always becoming more and more fun.